With MailChimp's Customer Journey Builder, you can connect with more customers and lead them and their furry friends down the path to purchase. You're more than a small business.
Vance Blackman. Cedric Douglas. Melissa Perkins. John Perkins. Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
Special one to Gaya, the earth is your own. Ashe. Alpha Moria. Ashe. Sarah. Ashe. Kim. Ashe. Let's see. Piper. Ashe. Great mother. Ashe. Ashe. All right. Okay, now, we can get right down to business here. Got a lot of stuff, got a lot of visual things on the show tonight. Because I think the last, first of all, people don't know me, and my name is Bobby Himmiitt. I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. And first of all, if some of this stuff sounds strange, it's because I don't do what you would call Afrocentricity or the regular historical lectures that you have seen with the ASCAC conference and that on back. That was for those particular people, and all of this particular stuff, whatever you're in, is all one piece to the puzzle. But my thing is based on esoteric teachings, that which is hidden, the stuff that you don't normally see, and the stuff that is really not literal in a literal sense. Your Bible gives you a lot of energy, a lot of things on the literal sense, which is not literal, it is esoteric other than exoteric. So you thinking it's time stories, you thinking it's parables and all that, and all the particular stuff they're talking about is within other than without. You see what I'm saying? So when we go deeper into these things, Israel, Isis, Ra, and the son El, which means son, you see what I'm saying? Our God, Israel, Isis, which means black people. Jerusalem means the soul, the place. Anytime they give you a place, a temple, or anything like that, they're talking about inward and not a particular land mass. You see what I'm saying? So the Holy Land is within. So we're going to deal with those particular things, but right now what we want to do, we want to deal with this Oklahoma thing. Now, I think the last time I came, I told people that, I think I'll cut this off. Okay, now that's not it. I told the people that on March 24th, Janet Reno established a particular strike force to strike and to watch out to go in and wipe out militias. Okay? Now we have that actual document. It's just that I went to Hampton University. There was a bunch of the papers on this stuff, and I told them to Xerox the stuff and mail it back in a week. Well, it's been 3 weeks, but you know how brothers and sisters are. You know what I'm saying? So I did in time to show you, but I received the document in Indiana, but I received a small subsequent document from Detroit, but I received an entire 3-page document on this Janet Reno strike force against all militias that were supposed to go in act on March 24th. Okay, and the next thing we know, some building gets blown up. And what happens as a result of the building? What? They go after the militias. Okay? We know now, based on the spiritual challenge, and based on we was waiting on it, that the government, now, All you got to do is track back in history. First of all, the first thing they do when they do this particular thing is they catch the person in 2 or 3 days to a time they had this big conspiracy and they caught the people from 2 or 3 days in a week was Lee Harvey Oswald. It's the same story. They caught him in 2 or 3 days. Or either in a week, or when another conspiratorial story was with James Earl Ray. You see what I'm saying? So they have carefully planned this thing all the way out to go against the militias. Now, what this cracker, he's this new type of Ku Klux Klan. He doesn't wear the sheets and all of them. Tom Metzger told Reverend Buffon, what's his name from New York, Sharpton, told him that any laws that you pass against me is for you. You don't know who Ku Klux Klan and skinheads are. Like he said on Montel Williams, our skin is our uniform. So you thinking of the same Ku Klux Klan and the militia, and you don't even understand that the militias that they are actually talking about is you. Now, what is a militia? A militia is anybody that is not politically correct, which means it does not go with the normal flow of the government or to improve life outside of the system of what the government would want you to do. Let me show you who's on the militia list. Now, we know that all your black Nation of Islam and all your black things, you already know that. But also on the militia list, you know the AKAs and all that, based on the King Apple Plan, all the black things. But the militia list also has Jenny Craig, weight loss, all this weight loss stuff, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, any type of society where they could bring up people into a group is a part of the militia. You see, Steve Coakley told you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that they was going to use, even Bill Cooper said it, that they was going to use the Ku Klux Klan to get the bills passed. You understand? Everybody saying, yeah, these militias and all, they're going to use them to get the bill passed so that they can lock up you. It's all about you. Now let's deal with a little bit of the history of this thing. Number one, the government has been weak for the past 10, 15 years. The country got out of hand, and they showed it was weak, first of all, because they couldn't win Vietnam. Number two, Iran and all of that stuff showed them that they were weak. So as a result, a part of the spoof was, remember now, in history, the Roman Empire was weak. They was weak for several hundreds of years, but they had established a certain amount of fear that you just didn't go up against the Roman Empire based on their history. Okay? But remember, the white vandals from Europe came in, and not knowing the history of the Roman Empire came in, a few little white stragglers from Europe came in and toppled the whole government. You understand? Because they understand the propaganda of when something is weak, they have this propaganda to make it appear strong. So what happened? They understood based on Vietnam and based on the takeover in the 60s and a lot of things when the even crackers children got from up under them. They understood that they were weak and they had to establish this totalitarian government under this great liberty again in these wars where black people, America's never lost a war. Hell, they haven't won one in this today. They lost World War II. They lost the Korean War. They lost all the wars. There wasn't a victory since the doggone Civil War. And that wasn't really a war because they were fighting amongst each other. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the key is that they have been weak all of this century. They have had a propaganda of making themselves seem powerful. Now, what happened was that they had to release a certain amount of material to make themselves feel like the evil beast again. It's called that wolf ticket type thing. Now, the wolf ticket type material was in 1970s, in the early 80s, there was no books out on the Illuminati. Because if people even talk about Illuminati, they come and take them out. One particular person, a group produced a film on the Illuminati in 1970s, and the government wrote against them and took it out. Now, all of a sudden, these books come out around what, 1990? So, you know, Bill Cooper's book and all this stuff here. This is the wolf ticket to make it appear that the government is this so-called New World Order, and they got the shrimp with Europe and all that, and they did try to come together in 1990 with the wall coming down, you know, in Germany, and also Russia, getting rid of communism. But as the Spirit did, they threw the monkey wrench in for the United Europe, and you had Bosnia break out. Okay? Now, they put out the material to actually combat you and put a fear in you, right? Now, as a result, it backfired on them because the Europeans in the pocket started taking the material and getting serious with it and established militias. You understand? To counter what was really meant for you. So as a result, the spirit has been holding them back from putting this new world order in, because now they got to try to put this new world order down by June, but they understand, well, look, based on the Dogon, and when I get into the real science of the time, if you know that this is the time now to bear witness, you would have started 10 years ago. You wouldn't wait till the end time prophecies to start things. If the white man was really going to make his move, he would have started it in the 80s when black people were deaf, dumb, and blind. You see, greater than that even in the 70s, but he didn't have the power to do that. So he put out this particular propaganda and it blew up in his face, and now the white militias have also come, and now they got to fight them, and now there's going to be a big war to wipe them out. They got to get them under control. Notice they said John Doe number 2, how in the devil does the government know that in actuality that he might strike again? Come on, that's some bullshit. That's because they are planning to strike again. You see what I'm saying? And this whole terrorist thing is basically meant for you. You see? So now all your Tom people and everybody else that was not bearing witness to anything, Lord, I just want to go to work and get paid. Now they can actually see this thing is actually unfolding. This thing. You see, now I want to address the question. First of all, I want to address the question that what's his name wrote to me in the paper about space Christians and all this stuff, Brother Dale Jones. He and Delbert Blair and a couple of other people. So he's in the revolutionary pit. And he admits he hadn't killed anybody yet. Right? But I got some brothers, I got a brother that a brother that's so-called, he halfway a Christian. And he's working with the Inuki Indians, as I'm going to introduce you. He done killed several crackers and got these crackers from killing black people. Another brother in Jacksonville. But he ain't killed nobody yet. You see what I'm saying? But then again, all this whole thing about the gun thing. Now listen. Now let's be sensible here. First of all, the first thing the government wants you to do, now I'm not saying not to buy no guns and that's self-defense. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you not to do that, but the first thing the government wants you to do, the government understands that he cannot fight a war only, but on the physical level. He understands that he goes with anything on the force of nature and the force of high spirituality, he will lose, because you can't win a war with a doggone ghost. See what I'm saying? With the spirit. So therefore, what he wants to do is he wants to force you into that particular thing. Now let's look at this. Let's look at the scenario of this. Let's say the black people are the Spartans, or somebody in Rome, where they got, you know, the knife and the shield, and yet the government, we don't have to even go to this high technological stuff. let's go into what he calls his what he calls his regular warfare. And you go with a knife and a shield, he got a machine gun. Well, it's the same scenario when it comes to the whiteboard and the little bit of oozes and stuff that you think you got. Now look, this is the key. How many people saw the movie Outbreak? Now, the movie Outbreak is about a disease called Ebola Zaire. But the main thing about this is this. The particular disease is real because it aired on day one, about two weeks before they put the movie out. About a disease that can kill you in 48 hours. Now, the key to this whole disease to kill you in 48 hours is this. Number one, it's an ethnic warfare because they kill 1,000 people in Africa. But the monkey that they so-called said it had the disease got out the cave in Fort Detrick, Maryland. Now, I wonder where I heard that before. Fort Detrick, Maryland, same place they cooked up the AIDS. This particular monkey got out the cage and no white people died. Yet when you see the movie, they simply tell you this. What was the moral to the movie? They was trying to make a doggone bomb or a particular ethnic weapon or a weapon. That was the basis to the movie. But do you understand the concept? Because we don't really analyze anything. Here is 2 weeks, they come out with a real disease on day one, and I think a couple of months before they had it on before. So they come out with a real disease. Then they come out with this movie about outbreak, and the next thing you know, they didn't make up a name. Oh, like you go, well, that's equivalent to the new Ebola Zaire. They gave you, no, they literally said Ebola Zaire and showed you the effects on how this thing kill you in what? 48 hours. You understand what I'm saying? 48 hours. Now, this is the key. Go watch the movie because the movie is still in theaters, right? Luckily, it had a big enough stars. You know, some movies come in, they stay about 2 weeks, and they go to the dollar freak, and they out circulate until they come in the video. But luckily, they put Dustin Hoffman and all that. No particular movies they keep in the theater a little longer because they put a certain amount, you know, Morgan Freeman and all that deal. Now go see the movie. Now this is the catch between the movie. The movie starts off in 1967. Right? Where they blow up this particular African tribe that came down with this disease. Eat your flesh up in 48 hours. Then the next thing the movie has is present day. Okay? Right? This is the key. I was doing a lecture in Jacksonville, Florida. Right before the lecture, the brother said, well, we need to go get some water and some stuff like this and some juice. Why don't you come to the supermarket with me? So I really had to get ready for it. I said, okay, cool. I had about an hour for the lecture. I went to the supermarket. While he's in there trying to get some, so I'm standing up and I'm looking in the book section, the magazine section, and I look over here and I see the little Outbreak book, the little $4 book that they put out with the movie. You know, the little paperback. I said, well, let me go look at the book. I know I already saw the movie, but then again, there's always more in the book. Now, in the movie, they say 1967, they show them come in, they drop this bomb, they get this particular disease up, they take it back to Fort Detrick, Maryland, and they synthesize it and make a weapon out of it. Then they show present day when the thing break out in America. Okay, I go get the book. I see 1967. Okay, I saw that in the movie. Then I turned to the point, I said, well, let me see what present day is. I turned to the part where it's supposed to be present day, and it says, August 9. Well, see, they make movies timeless. Why are they going to put a date in the book? August 19, 1995. Now, going back to Dale Jones is this. He out here with a little bit of oozes and all this kind of thing, and I know his heart is in the right place, but they're a little lighting the ass on this type shit. Now, they come out with this particular thing. They might win a few battles, but the key to the whole thing is this. The cracker got a disease that can kill you in 48 hours. And you talking about a machine gun? Well, hell, you get sick in 8 hours. So that means you ain't got but 8 hours worth of fighting. The next couple hours, you trying to survive or trying to breathe or something. And wonder about these boys and how it's going to kill you. And they aired the same thing last night on the X-Files. 48 hours again. They show how this thing wipe you out and what the monkey was, this boy would spit on you. This is the real deal. So now they're talking on this particular thing because that's called ego. You see. Now you don't want to do it on the race. Now, so he's going to tell me, doggone the metaphysics and the spiritual thing. So you're going to wipe out over a couple of million years of spirituality on the earth for a doggone machine gun that the damn Jews manufactured. The fact don't walk. You understand what I'm saying? Yet, this man is the doggone author of that. I should not respect a doggone cat. Go to the dog pound and hang out with the dogs and gonna use dog methods to fight the dogs. He's already outside of his realm. The dog is an expert at being the doggone dog. You understand the concept? That's called ego. And what's happening is this here. And I'm not, see, my whole thing is I don't attack anybody that go stand up. That if you want to go out there and get your head blowed off, leave. You did something. I just figure you're smart. You're supposed to fight smart and not hard. But I don't attack any of that, but my whole key is this here, you're gonna outrule any spirituality whatsoever. You see what I'm saying? All this particular stuff that has come down the pipe and we are actually gaining ground. And yet, my mate done killed 2 or 3 of these, we done killed 2 or 3, 4, 5 crackers and stuff in doggone January and on 12 yet. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I know that's getting a bit too graphic for you, but you got to understand what's really going down. It's about the spirituality, and when I get into certain things tonight, you will see these particular things is actually going down. So what I want to do is, let's see, so first of all, remember now, I told you the last time I was here, I told you Newt Gingrich's book is coming out in August is called 1945, which 4 and 5 is 9, is actually 1995. But the 45 is a significant number to the New World Order. So the next thing they do, they go bring this doggone monkey. They done killed this monkey's father. Killed his father because they told this monkey, don't win a third championship. We don't want no super niggas. He wins his third championship for Chicago, and the next thing you know, they execute his father. You understand? Oh, we burn up the body so you can't have no autopsy on this. You understand what I'm saying? And they bring it on 2 doggone hits down there, right? Okay, yeah. And he quits and all this type of thing. So what happened? They bring this doggone fool back. He's going to run him ball again. He got to play. If it ain't baseball, he got to play some ball because that's where his mind is. Oh, he's the greatest entertainer. He's an asshole. Let's call it what it is. It's time to stop time out of playing ball. So they bring him back, and what's the first thing they do? They put the number 45 on his shirt. The Newt Gingrich number. Why didn't they give him the other number? If it's retired, hell, you can bring it back out of retirement if it's his number. They put 45 on his doggone shirt, letting you know this whole thing. And the only reason why they brought him back was the whole baseball thing went haywire. You see, all this particular stuff is actually going down. Actually going down. Now, did I tell you the last time about this thing? They got this new concentration camp called Devil's Island. Did I tell you that? They got a concentration camp that it opened up. It's going to open up May 1st. It's called Devil's Island in the Everglades of Florida. No heat. No electricity, no air conditioning, no doctor.